Yo, Matthew, what's going on, man?
Brad, how's it going? Good to see you.
I'm great.
Well, what brings you in here today?
I'm just here to kick it with my friend Joshua Neal. Man, he actually is like a rising talent, like big on social media to start, TikTok, Instagram, known for like his comedic stuff. So I'm excited just to kick it with him, talk about his journey from zero to now. Before long, we'll be seeing him in movie roles and on billboards, so it should be a fun time.
Hell yeah. Can I get you something to drink?
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm here. Let's get the Dragon's Dream.
All right, sounds good.
Bring that energy today.
Hell yeah.
All right. What's going on?
What's going on? How you doing?
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Yep. This may be the first and last time I say, but like, thank God for the algorithm.
Absolutely.
Because without the bots
Yeah.
and the science, Joshua Neal's not coming into my life, and from the second I saw. I think it was probably like of course, all IG images begin with like the still. Mm-hmm. So your face was probably like this far away from the screen. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, who's this guy?
It's been joy ever since. It has been circulating within my house, and a lot of laughing, a lot of moments, man. So as time moves forward, you're creating characters, new worlds, and things are almost becoming serialized. There's a couple of things that you do at this point that when people just buy the frame on your main page, you already know what time it is. When they see that tank top and they see the head to the side,
it's the
it's the huge. So like even going from that, like how did you what went into and like talk about the origin story of the huge?
The huge. I didn't have any content ideas. I was kind of like on a dry spell. So I was like, man, but I really wanted to post that day, and I was like, what can I post though that just give them something? So I had just got a fresh haircut that day.
Okay.
Just got a fresh haircut that day.
Okay.
So I was like, really feeling myself on some like eye squinted all day, talking slow, all that. You know what I mean? Like getting off the phone early for no reason. Like, yo, I gotta go.
Yeah, really.
I got stuff to do real quick.
They checking for me.
They checking for me. Like, we holler at you. Let me see if I'll hit you later. Not going to. I was like, let me just do that. Something stupid. So, I take my phone out. And so I was chilling. I used to not, when I first did it, I didn't say the huge.
Okay.
I just say, the huge. So I was like, I'm chilling with this 10 out of 10 the other day, the huge. And I started talking about how this girl was like, you really start acting different every time you get a haircut, because that's how I was feeling. So I just put it in the video. I chose the Snow Allegra cover of Love for You.
Yeah.
Is that what the song called?
Do for Love.
Do for Love.
Yeah.
Got you. On camera, you got to get those classics right.
Yeah.
Do for Love. And at the time, it was like the top 5 songs on TikTok that were kind of like hot. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'll choose that one. And it just went perfect with what I was saying, because when I started talking, I bet you wonder where I've been. I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is hilarious. So I posted, and it just hits like hard on all social media. The huge, it was pretty much just came from like, everything that I'm doing that's so amazing is the norm. You know what I mean? I'm not putting it on thick, even if it is something crazy. Like, If, like right now, if I were to just hit the lotto and I got like $1 million, the huge just being like, yeah, I've always been this rich though. Like, you know what I mean?
That's the attitude.
Yeah, gas tank is on full all the time. This is really nothing. Like,
time.
sometimes you can't do the same one all the time to get tired of it. So, I move on to different skits. But the huge stuck. Like, they don't get tired of it.
I'm gonna be real with you, man. I jumped into one of your lives. You're really good with just spending time with your audience to shoot the shit. I got a little time on me. What's good with y'all?
Yeah.
And I jumped into it. I didn't hear the question, but I heard you in almost quasi like Mr. Huge fashion, just being like, I think a lot of guys like they work out, but they can't work out like me.
Yeah.
And understanding that I was going to be spending some time with you later, I was like, I want to see. So, we will be going to the gym together. Yeah. I will allow you to take the lead. And the challenge of it all is that, am I going to be able to lift what I need to lift?
You'll be good. I think you'll be all right.
You all right?
You'll be good.
We going to see, man, because the aura was crazy on the screen, bro. It was crazy on the screen, and I really want to know. I got 2 kids.
No, because you hopped in when somebody they was getting on me. They were trying to get me like, oh, you're not doing this, you got to do that. And I was like, ho.
Okay.
Hold up.
Okay.
I do this.
Okay.
All right, what? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, but I'm like, look, man, I do this for real.
Yeah.
You know, I be in the gym. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't let this extra large fitted T-shirt fool you.
Right.
If I put on the H&M special, it's gonna be over.
You gonna be quiet.
Yeah, you gonna see
be
the real
quiet.
deal, Holyfield in here. I still
sir.
go in the gym, hit 225 one time, and just be like, I still got it.
All right.
You know what I mean? Just to make sure,
Just-
see where we at.
Let's go ahead and drop that. You were saying, cast
Yeah.
it in the gym aloud. You
Yeah, that's right. So I think working out has definitely kept me mentally right. I work out more now for my mental than physical. You know what I'm saying? Like it just gets my day started off right. It clears your mind. You have any stress in the morning, working out has always done it for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just important to move. It has done me so much mental health that I'm like, I usually don't like starting off my day without working out. And it just gets my day started off right. And it even gets like the sleepy look out your face.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
'cause
You're gonna
you're
wake
alert.
up, your body, you running now.
Right,
your
right,
body
right,
like,
right.
oh,
Yeah,
you gonna
yeah.
wake up now.
You
Like,
know
yeah,
what
get
time
it
it is.
together. Gotta have a proper playlist though. You'll be all right.
Finally got you in the gym, bro. I told you.
Yeah, I did.
Got you right with a pair
All right,
to work out
appreciate
in.
it. These are nice. Okay.
I was talking big at the bar, and real talk, an overwhelming sense of fear
Okay.
came up with
Been a
me
long
because-
time since you hit the gym.
I mean, I work out, but then I thought about myself. What have I done?
Yeah.
I talked to Josh. I was pretty confident, pretty up there in my speech.
Got you. We gonna do something light. We're not gonna go crazy.
I would appreciate that.
Just break a little sweat.
And to incentivize you, I do have a bit of a prize.
Okay.
If you don't embarrass me on camera.
Got you. Okay.
So if you could do that for me,
I got you, bro.
we will.
Yeah, I like private.
We'll bless you. All right. So again, man, we're in your world.
All right. So
What's going on?
we can do like 10 minutes.
All right.
It's a nice little blood flow going.
Yes, sir.
I'm not one of those people, and then we'll put the effort on 6. I start off on 6.
Okay. I'm entering the back half of the 30s. Quick motion.
Yeah.
We're not about that anymore, man. We warming the car up at all times before we skirt off.
You know, I've been playing sports my whole life, so working
Right.
out has always been a part of like what I like to do. It's always been a part of my lifestyle. So like, you get people who they're just there for the, as some would say, the thirst. You know what I mean?
As some would call it.
As some would call it.
Coined it.
All right, I'm definitely going to Chick-fil-A after this, but
It's all balance,
absolutely, life is about balance. That's what I'm saying. So, like, I was just like, man, let me just make being fit like funny and I don't know, make it seem fun.
You come in knowing who you are.
Facts, yeah.
I seen you crop it out.
Oh, I do the crop tops. I rock the crop tops, but that was a habit I developed when I was playing football.
What do you typically listen to?
I got a rock playlist, I got a rap playlist,
Okay.
I got a deep thought playlist, I got a film song playlist. So sometimes I listen to my film playlist, which is a lot of Hans Zimmer.
Oh, word. Well, you're in there for the drama. You're really getting after it.
Hans Zimmer is a goat to me. He's like
Yeah,
my all-time
man.
favorite.
Like you might see me going hard on the treadmill, throwing up some crazy weight, and I got the ear pods in, and the assumption is, oh, he's listening to trap, something hard, some Travis. Little do you know, it's like Celine Dion.
Right.
I could be going crazy to Billy Joel. You never quite know.
Slow songs.
It's the feeling.
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. But that playlist is everything. I usually listen to a lot of Hans Zimmer. My number one playlist. Oh, there you go. You got it. How many is that?
I lost count, man.
Look at it.
But we good.
We'll say it's
Sometimes you
25.
just gotta push it.
Yeah, you got it. We'll
You
call
know?
that 25. But yeah, Man of Steel is my all-time favorite Hans Zimmer score. I listen to that a lot of times when I'm working
Yeah,
out. It's
yeah.
almost like a meditating like score. Like a lot of people don't. I think a lot of like film scores can be used for like meditation a lot.
Yeah.
There's another score from this film called Past Lives.
Okay.
I love that film a lot.
I mean, it sounds like there's a great intersection between where you're going as a creative yourself and the stuff that you really dig into. Why do you lean into more like film scores and all that type of stuff when you're working out?
It's inspiration.
Okay.
I think that a lot of times, like as a creative, you can always run into like a dry spell because you're giving so much, like constantly. And sometimes I think a lot of creatives, writers, directors, artists, like have difficulty not knowing when to like chill out. Sometimes you really do have to let yourself recharge and do nothing to come up with new ideas and to feel inspired to write it or something like that. So, but a lot of times, like if I do hit that dry spell, I like to listen to a lot of film scores because it inspires me a lot. It gives me new ideas. I cannot write without music. So usually music sets the tone for whatever it is that I want to write. A lot of film scores don't have anybody rapping or singing or talking through the track. So I don't know.
Gives you
I think I like
opportunity to
film
dig in.
scores that way. Yeah, just listen to the music.
Yeah.
That wasn't 25, but we're gonna move forward.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Next time, we gonna leave the part out where you call it.
Okay.
And we just gonna say,
Yeah.
moving on.
Yeah.
I've never tried playing a film score while working out.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like a superhero a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I like to listen to film scores and just, imagine myself as like a superhero, all the problems I gotta handle in the city.
Absolutely.
Like a black Batman. For my 4th birthday, I wanted my dad to come as Batman.
Okay.
It was like late notice.
Uh-huh.
And I don't think they could order this is way before Amazon.
Cape and
They
cowl.
couldn't really find like a believable Batman costume. My dad told me, he was like, don't worry, we have this super exclusive hero.
Okay.
It's way better than Batman.
Okay.
And at the time I had like all my friends at the house. The next day came. My white friends, my Asian friends.
Yeah.
My dad burst through the door in this like homemade Batman outfit. And he's like, dun 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 dun, I'm Black Man.
Hey.
And all my friends were like, Black Man. It's probably my most cherished childhood memory. So maybe that's why
I would never forget that.
I listen to these film scores and imagine myself as Black Man.
I really just want to dig into like where you're from and like youth at your core. So I know you're from the Bay.
Yeah.
What were some of the things that were forming the person you became? You're from, I think, Union City.
Union City, yeah.
Yeah. So what are you seeing as a child when you can't control the radio, when you don't, like when people are taking you over to the babysitter's house or whatever the case may be? Who is around you? What's your world?
Super funny household. Chores every Saturday type of thing.
Okay.
Now that I'm older though, we had chores on Saturday. We were overworked, underpaid.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
absolutely. That's
saying?
what it
Back
always
then,
feels
$5
like.
was a long way.
Oof.
But now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, should have been like $40 on that.
Inflation hits crazy.
Absolutely, you know what I'm saying? But it was tax-free money, so I can't complain.
Absolutely.
So it's like me and my mom, my dad, a lot of good times. They took us camping a lot, wakeboarding, fishing. My dad always took me fishing.
Okay, culture.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? We used to be a part of this campers club.
Oh,
It was
word.
called the Happy Rollers Club.
Huh.
Yeah, we had shirts and everything. It was
Word.
going down. It was
Okay.
going down. And just a lot of activities, a lot of joking, a lot of fun. It was a lot of space for creativity. Back then when you had video games with just 2 buttons, it was real simple.
Yeah.
Blitz and things like that.
Yeah,
But for the
yeah,
most
yeah.
part, I was outside. I had a big imagination though,
Yeah.
a lot. I think I probably developed that in church because I was never paying attention to the preacher, but I always brought my action figures with me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Entertainment was
So
important.
you had a sideshow
Yeah, a sideshow going
Yeah,
on, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Little Batman versus Superman
Hey.
before the movie.
before.
Once I got to public school, it was a lot of just being able to talk and just meet different people
Yeah.
and have like different friends from different groups, different areas of life really. And then I went to Logan, which had 4,500 kids there.
Okay.
So it's like
Packed house.
packed house, And I was still trying to find my way around this time. I was still I was never like a popular kid, but I was popular in my mind.
Okay.
Amongst my little group of friends.
Okay.
And then my sophomore year, I loved football. My dad didn't let me play because he didn't like my grades.
Oh wow. So
Yeah.
you had like a classic parent
Oh, yeah.
story. Like we gotta
yeah.
make sure things are prioritized.
Dad's a deacon, owns his own business as an accountant.
Okay.
So taxes, numbers, his
Okay.
thing,
Okay.
master's degree, that whole
Okay.
thing. My
That's a
mom's an
very-
interior designer.
It's a very realist
Right,
house.
right.
Yeah.
Also, works with my dad in the office. They work with each other, doing all that thing. So I had perfect balance. My mom always told me to like dream. She was a dreamer.
Okay.
My dad was always, I understand, but always have a plan. That was his thing. So when I was in high school, I wanted to play football my sophomore year. He didn't let me play. I had a 2.0 even. I was like, I'm good. He was like, no, you're not.
Over the hill, but not necessarily
Not for
sitting
me.
pretty.
Yeah, he was like, you got an A in P, an A in drawing, and I think an A in drama. But you got a
Creativity.
D in math, a D in history, and like a D in English. I was like, we good, baby. Like, you know what I'm saying? Balance is everything. You know what I'm saying?
I'm out
Like,
here
come on now. You ain't
painting
gonna-
and floating around.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
not too bad at this, but not too good at it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Know what
Yeah.
your strengths are. He was like, no.
You had trouble as far as grades are concerned, but eventually, I think your journey is that you went to junior college.
Yeah, I went to junior college.
And played football as well. Walked on.
Well, it was a junior college, so like, yeah, I technically walked on,
Sure.
like, you know what I mean? And I did drama in high school. Drama teacher hated me. Shout out to
Okay.
Mr. Vega.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think he saw the potential. So then when I went to college, I also signed up for drama classes there. And I started playing football, loved to do that, City College. But around that time, I kind of was wanting to explore acting on a more like serious level. It's so funny, friends would even tell me, like the friends who were there that were on scholarship and everything like that, like they were playing on Saturdays, but they would always tell me like, man, you should like be an actor one day. You know what I mean? It was already in the back of my head, but I would just get these affirmations like randomly sometimes, like, yo, bro, like, you ever thought about pursuing acting? You just funny though, like. So I was just like, no, I did it, and in high schools, et cetera, so like that. So then one day when I got really down, when I knew I wasn't really feeling football anymore, and I was like, all right, what do I do now? Lottery Ticket had just come out. That movie with Bow Wow and Brandon T. Jackson.
Yeah,
Those who don't know, Brandon T. Jackson was hot, sizzling back at this time.
There was a nice little pocket in time where he was a walking heat rock.
Killing it, right?
It.
Super funny, talented, everything. Yeah. And that was the first movie that I saw, especially just being that time where I was trying to think about what I wanted to do. I was like, I could be in a movie like that, like Brandon T. Jackson. He's black. He's got kind of like the high pitched voice like me. I was like, I can. Yeah. So I called my mom like that day, and was like, I want to pursue acting like full time. I don't want to play football anymore. And this was like mid season.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, like, she understood. Yeah. I didn't tell my dad. I just told my mom, and I was like, she'll tell him.
She'll relay the information.
Yeah. So I literally started coming to practice like twice a week. They didn't even notice.
Okay, I'm about to say, that's a different life. What a realization that is, too.
They didn't notice. And at the time, my roommate, Tony Jefferson, I was going to quit. Mm-hmm. He was like, no, bro, we get all these like bowl game gifts and this money. He was like, you might as well just thug it out to the end of the season, which I did.
Yeah.
And, enjoyed the bowl game gifts and the trip to Arizona and stuff like that, which was cool. Mm-hmm. But then after that, I went back home. And I just started looking for gigs on Craigslist, started lifeguarding, and I just hit the ground running. I applied for like my local talent agencies, signed with Stars on Market, and I was just going to auditions every now and then, that kind of thing, and just getting where I fit in.
I know that you had a stint as an employee at Equinox, where, obviously you're in the fitness space and all these things are happening, and then the pandemic hits, and how does that kind of impact your life?
Working at Equinox was super fun. That was cool, and I was a pool monitor there. Okay. So I was just keeping track of people that were swimming, 30-minute time limit, making the rotation was good. I felt I was head honcho in charge of the whole gym, because everybody knows that it really goes down at the pool. That's what people come for.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I go and see the people working out on bench and stuff. I'm like, that's great, but we all know what the main attraction is. If you need things to go accordingly, you come to me. Absolutely. I'll make sure you get in that water.
Yes, sir.
Make sure you rinse off first, because that's policy. They didn't like that.
Follow rules and regulations
at
all times.
If you got a problem with that, you can go to 24-hour fitness. You don't want to go there.
Yeah, you take it elsewhere. Yeah.
It was like a really good experience. Like I met like really good people there, and it was flexible. So I would work from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., which I was like, okay, I'll wake up really early. I get off at 2. I still have the day to do, go to my auditions and everything like that. And my talent agency, I had signed to Stars. The agency was like right across the street. So I, during this time, had booked a regional commercial for Crystal Geyser. It was like small, so it was only showing every now and then. But it was getting a lot of plays. A lot of people was hitting me up, which made me think I got ripped off. I was like, hey, it was like $500. I should have got like
renegotiate.
Yeah, come on now, we need to renegotiate off. So then my manager at the time, her name was Colleen. She was so dope. I think she saw the commercial one day while she was at the house, and she told me like, I saw your commercial like last night, and I was just like trying to play it loud. I was just like, oh yeah, it's just something light work right there,
for sure.
But I was like really juiced, and so after that, like, she really would let me, go to my auditions like during my shift, like for a little bit, or during like my break. She would really make it to where if I needed a day off to like go to an audition, she would like really make sure I could do it.
Yeah.
So shout out to Colleen, because she really made a lot of things possible.
Yeah.
And as time goes on, the pandemic hits, and obviously you work at a gym. That's probably the last place you wanted to be at during, COVID and everything.
Yeah.
Sweat everywhere, coughing everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Unnecessary coughs too, by the way. It's like, what are we doing here? Sneezing indoors is crazy.
People do a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're all at the house now. And 3 days before the pandemic hit, I had downloaded TikTok. A friend of mine, actually, her name is Monique, had messaged me and was like, I really think you should make TikToks. I think if you started making them, you would like make a buzz. She was like, there's a lot of people in there that's like funny and stuff. I think if you tried to do it, like you would have some luck. So I couldn't dance. Well, not in a way that would go viral.
Right.
So I just started, but I did see people lip syncing movie scenes on there. So I started ripping movie scenes off of YouTube, and I would lip sync and reenact those two characters.
Okay.
And it was doing like, okay, I think the first video I posted, it had like an hour went by and it had like 500 views.
Okay.
That was a lot to me.
Yeah,
Because you know, you're comparing that to like YouTube views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
That's
upload
true.
on YouTube, no subscribers, you might have 5 views in 5 days. You know what I'm saying? You gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
But TikTok was like, I remember
crazy.
thinking the whole world cannot do anything.
what I
So
said
we're
then.
gonna be Netflixing and watching TikToks. We're watching Netflix shows and we're just on TikTok passing the time. I stayed away from making content for the longest. I didn't want to be a social media or content creator.
Okay.
I wanted to be an actor. I wanted to be looked at as an actor.
Right.
So I stayed away from it for a long time, but when the pandemic hit, it was just time, and I was like, let me just test the waters and see what it does. And then my first video that I did was like, when you have a girlfriend, a new girlfriend that's really strict. So what I was doing was like, there was a character like smoking this fake cigarette. I would order them off Amazon, and I was just sitting there like stressed out, and I would act as these websites that were leaving my room. So it was like OnlyFans subscriptions leaving with a sad face. It was like Pornhub's leaving with a sad face. There's all these like inappropriate things.
Yeah.
And then the music, and it was this dramatic music playing, and then the music would switch, and then new characters would come in, and it was like commitment, reality TV shows, all these things, and the character starts like coughing, choking on a cigarette, and you're just like, what's going on? Like, it's crazy. I had 600 followers on IG. I had 98 followers on Twitter, and I had like, I don't know, 2,000 maybe on TikTok. I remember, he's a friend of mine now, his name's Kyle. He had like 10,000 followers on Twitter. I don't know how he saw the video that I did, because I was taking all the videos and posting them on all my social media. He was like, yo, I don't really know like, you know, much about you and your videos, but he's like, these videos are really, really good, man. Like, just keep at it. Like, these are good. He retweeted that video. It was, I think it was at night, but from like 7 p.m. to 12 midnight after that, it went from like a couple, like 50 views to 40,000.
Wow.
By 12 p.m. the next day, it had 1 million.
Wow.
And on TikTok, it had like 500,000, and it hit on Instagram too. So I went from 98 followers on Twitter to like 6,000 overnight. And then I went from, I think like 5,000, 6,000 followers on TikTok to like 12K. And then I went from IG was probably at like 7,000 followers.
So pretty much what this is I do 3 sets of 8.
Okay.
So it's pretty much like this. That's
Okay, so-
one.
Okay.
Oh,
Feel
there you
like feeling like redemption on this side.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Now,
What have you
what's
been
been?
counting? I wasn't counting.
Oh man, I'm about to stop.
Okay, but
I'm about to stop. Don't you worry about it. There we go. 10.
there you go. Thing about it is I don't work out like crazy. This is really just for looks.
Oh
It's just
yeah.
for the aesthetic. You know what I'm saying?
Again,
if you
that's-
really want to test my strength, you'd be like, oh, it's actually not that strong.
Yeah, man. So obviously the determination, no matter what your motivation, right? You're telling me it's about aesthetics and stuff like that, but obviously there's a great deal of determination that comes in with doing the things and making a sacrifice of time and effort to get into the gym. You used to be an athlete,
Yeah.
day in and day out in college. I'm sure that a lot of the foundational stuff, as far as being able to wake up in the morning and do something that you don't want to do,
Yeah.
kind of works in your day-to-day life, day-to-day, as a creative. Would you agree?
Yeah. I think football taught me a lot about discipline, for sure. I think there's a lot of things that you learn in sports that really never leave you. Getting things done that you don't necessarily want to get done, being consistent. You kind of just develop this kind of routine.
Yeah.
I think it works the same in like the creative space.
Yeah.
I think because even as athletes, you can get burnout. You have your rest days.
Yeah.
You have your days where you have to go and you have to work on a certain muscle. You have to do strengthening, whether you have to like lose weight, gain muscle. Sometimes creatively, you want to, strengthen yourself in different parts of writing.
Okay.
Learn more about lighting. Learn more about camera work, and the best way to do that is repetition. Same
Get your
with
reps in, for
weightlifting.
sure.
Repetition. Get
Yeah.
stronger. You got to keep lifting that weight, type stuff.
Yep.
So I think a lot of it has seeped over into like what I do creatively, because you want to learn how to work with others,
Absolutely.
be a little disciplined, things like that.
You're gonna get
So
those life lessons too.
You gotta get those.
Not
life
everything
lessons.
goes your way.
Exactly. Not everything
You
goes
will
your way.
lose.
Be okay with losing.
Yeah. Bro, so this used to be day-to-day life for me. I used to be, I lived in an apartment building that had a gym downstairs, so it was nothing to to just jump down real quick, get on the bench, get on the treadmill, get a full workout in. So this is actually perfect timing.
Do you want to do this way? Or do you want to do something else?
I appreciate
If
the
you got it
ask.
like that,
We're gonna let the ego run wild just for a little
okay.
bit.
All right.
The safe word is purple.
All right.
Just know that.
All right.
All right. On 3, on 1, 2.
Oh, you got that.
Oh yeah, you didn't know.
Oh.
I got it.
Oh, okay. I
All right.
remember my first time in Oklahoma. I promise to God, I have never done anything harder in my life physically. My cousin warned me about the workouts at OU.
Huh.
Because he was there 10 years prior, and I was like, bro, okay, I could do that.
Yeah.
I used to lose sleep over workouts, thinking about them.
Like just night before.
I promise to God, I used to go to church and praying about.
You shouldn't think of yourself super far away or different from the celebrities or people that you look up to. It really is just about confidence. It's just about looking at yourself differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I might not be there yet, but the key word is yet.
Right.
So you can start acting like you're already there.
Right,
You don't gotta
right,
wait.
right.
For what?
And in the spirit of that, like, are you someone who kind of or believes in manifestation and like the energy of feeling it now so that it can kind of get to you sooner than maybe it would have?
Yes.
Okay.
But I believe in working more though.
Yes.
The equal balance,
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
Because I do know a lot of people that are just sitting back like, I'm waiting for it. I'm manifesting right now. I'm
Right,
like, no, bro, you can't you gotta actually get out there. You know what I mean? But absolutely, like, I think manifestation is real. Without works, it's dead. You know what I mean? You gotta have some action in there. But it starts here with the visual.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? It starts here. You have to see yourself there. And I've seen myself there. You know what I mean? I really do see myself there.
Okay. Where is there, by the way? Let's get it.
Perfect world. We're talking.
Let me join you, by the way.
Yeah, right.
I want to be there with you. It sounds like it's about to be bomb.
So by every great man is a great woman. You know what I mean? We got to start there, right?
Let me tell you.
Right.
Accurate.
Right. So I'm talking Shannon Thornton. She's so beautiful. She's an actress, you know, right? So I'm seeing me and her. We're at dinner. We're in great outfits. We're side by side. She's a great actress. I'm a great actor.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And now we're just talking about our roles together. It's just like, oh, this is so great. This is so great. Like, we're just following our dreams together.
Okay.
Somebody comes by at that time. They're like, oh, you're... And I'm like, how you doing, sir? It's nice to see you. Like, oh, can I take a picture? I'm like, oh, sure. So I take a picture with him. I signed a couple autographs. You know, with the kid, too. It's like, okay, cool.
Okay.
Boom, you're doing that. Then, you know, I turn to Shannon. We're talking, and I go, oh, babe, I'm so sorry. I have to, I got to rehearse for the Jordan Peele film that I'm doing, so I gotta, remember. She's like, oh no, it's okay, it's fine. I'm like, you wanna stay here? I'll call the Uber Black for you later, or do you wanna come? And she's like, I'll just stay here. I'm like, okay, I'll get you the Uber Black later. Nice suburban thing.
Yeah.
Because right now I just get picked up on whatever comes, which is fun.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
But then after, it's just like suburbans only.
Space.
You know what I mean? Illegally tinted windows. You know the use, the whole thing.
They don't need to see you.
They don't need to see me, but I'm gonna have the window cracked though, because you do need to see me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because what's the point if nobody can
Absolutely.
really, And, I would like to just be like also writing projects as well, and getting better.
Yeah.
That's just important though. It's being better, learning where your pocket is as an actor, which I think takes a long time to really get a grip on what your niche is.
Yeah.
And that's where I see myself next year.
Right. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, 2 years. 2 years.
Give time. So as we get back to the present, then I think you were talking about writing and all these things, like a lot of work. And I think like a novice who just sees your stuff as they consume other content or whatever, maybe isn't aware of this, but like the stuff that you're doing without you telling me, I know is elaborate in the sense of like the prep, the writing, all that stuff. Like, where does that knack of creativity, the workhorse, maybe it comes from you in football and the routine of like putting in and doing something at times that you don't want to do, but it's hard.
Yeah.
So like, what is the motivating factor, and are you enjoying the process of like sitting down, writing, editing, color correcting, like all those things?
Honestly, I think social media taught me so much about work ethic. I don't think I was doing enough back then. I was going to the auditions when they came, but outside of that, I wasn't really doing much on my own. And I thought I was doing a lot until I started writing out the skits myself every single day. You're writing every day. You're filming it every day. when it starts to get really hard, when it started to become too much in my mind, it was kind of like, no, this is actually what you're supposed to be doing. Like, this is what it actually takes to try to get somewhere. Sometimes it was like, I was like, dang, like it was too easy back then. Maybe that's why I wasn't really, I had a lot of time on my hands. You know what I mean? I'm calling my friends on Wednesday at 1 o'clock. Like, you trying to go to the movies?
What's
Like,
good?
what are you talking about, dog? Like, I'm at work,
We're
Josh.
doing what's supposed,
Right,
we're supposed
I'm
to be
over here
doing.
rock climbing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think that when I started seeing the results and started like getting further in like where I wanted to go through the skits, that was a lot of motivation. Okay, if I'm putting in all this work with the skits and I'm like getting somewhere, what happens if I start like writing short films here and there?
Yeah.
Or I start learning about aperture, I start learning about lighting, I start learning about like golden hour, just these little things. How to sync in sound with a real microphone, you know, that type of thing. And I think that after seeing the results of with social media, like brand deals here and there, or you get to, you know, go somewhere, being here in this, you know, amazing project interview, like, I think that it was like, man, if I really try to take it a step deeper and take more time with editing, gathering actors, asking around to like film at locations. I just filmed at a local movie theater in Castro Valley on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It takes a lot longer to edit. You know, my computer has about 3 heart attacks during an editing session now with the fan coming on and everything, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, no, I just, one file.
Yeah.
Already?
Right.
So I think that seeing how much progress I've made, seeing like a lot of people sometimes in public saying how much they like my stuff, and even just like having, you know, actors or directors follow you, it really does help to be like affirmed. That affirmation is like it's a motivator. It lets you know that you're getting in front of people and people like what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so it really just made me want to dig deeper into trying to figure out how far I could go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And the answer to that, from my vantage point, is far, because not only are you showing what like your entry, you know, again, from my eyes is, you know, hey man, this guy got jokes, he's funny, he has a wit about him and all this other stuff. But the most exciting thing for me has been the range. The Breakup for One is just great. Is just a great short.
Thank you.
You know, and it's acting, it's emotion, it's something that you can connect to. I think all of us who have seen that clip are wondering like, well, what happened? What did you do?
Yeah.
You know, and we hope to see that fully fleshed out.
Yeah.
Another thing that I really appreciate about your work and your output is that, you know, as much as you do the creative stuff that's like, you know, these creative worlds that you're building, you take time to like speak to what is really going on in your life, and being honest and candid about the process of being a creative, of not everything being as sweet as you might assume it being. Right. And I mean, you've been like incredibly honest. One of your creative pieces is one, I think, what's the name of it? Jacob's Journal. And in this case, correct me if I'm wrong, you star as this Jacob who is, as we are introduced to, we assume that he's a successful person and he has things to do and he's taking meetings or whatever the case may be, but he's getting up in the morning, he's looking at himself in the mirror, and the self-talk is so negative. Yeah. And he's so down on himself. And that's something that we all face as far as imposter syndrome and, you know, way beyond that. I know you've wrestled with so much in your life as far as, you know, self-harm, and being in dark spaces. What has that journey been like for you to even get to this point where, you know, seemingly at least you're on the right track?
I think the struggle with mental health for me back then, and just like the root of depression, was a lot of times, and like from my experience and what I see is like, you can be depressed from a situation, from something that happens, but it's acting like you're okay for a long time when you're not, is like the darkest part of it. And especially when you're somebody like me who is, people are used to being, I'm used to, Josh here. You know what I mean? So you don't sometimes feel as comfortable being, I guess, showing the downside to yourself. You kind of feel obligated to keep that persona. Yeah. Because you've never really been at a place where you are down, or tell someone that you know what I mean? And a lot of times, like for the most part, when we ask people, what's up, bro, how you doing? Yeah, I'm good. You don't really think to be like, I'm actually not okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the only time that you really take that mask off is when you go home and there's nobody
and
there.
you're alone, yeah.
So you haven't got to talk about it. You haven't got to let the steam out. You know, a lot of times I think of it as like a tea kettle, you know, like a teapot without little hole that whistles. You know, the fire's burning, right, and the water's boiling and the pressure, but you don't take the top off to let it off. You're not talking to anybody, so you just keep the top on. The water's still boiling, and the pressure just
Gonna pop. Yeah.
build. And sometimes, by the time you pop or something, it's too late for some people.
Yeah.
So, I think at one point I was depressed, but I wasn't feeling like I was being seen at all. And the more that I started to act okay, the more it was more obvious that I wasn't to myself.
Okay.
So eventually you start to legit feel like you're in your body, but you're just acting.
Yeah.
Like, even when you talk to people, you see people, you feel like the real you is just in there like this.
Right,
but you're like, yeah, like, okay, I'll get on that right away. And
Right.
it's heavy.
Yeah.
It's hard. You're not talking to your parents, you're not talking to your friends. And then when you're around your friends, everybody's happy. The vibes are there.
You don't want to be the one.
You want to be the one. So now you're really turning up that, this is great. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And the more you do that, the more depressed you are. I think that for me, I went through that for like a year before one day being like, I'm going to do something about this. Because I don't want to sound cliche or anything, but when you are in like deep depression, from my experience, just to do anything is a lot. Talking to people, waking up, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, eating. It's kind of like you're forcing yourself to do these normal things. So I got to the breaking point of like self-harming myself, and I ended up in the hospital. Yeah, my parents there, my best friends. Never seen them cry before. That was tough because we've been best friends since 10th grade. And it's crazy because, you know, 2 police officers there, they act like you're a criminal. They don't even act like you're the person that's struggling. They searched my car. They wanted to know if I had weapons in there and stuff. And now they're saying like you can't take him home because that you can. If you're self-harm yourself, they usually take you to like the 5150 for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
So what they do is they have like a psychiatrist or psychologist, like they have them come in on a Zoom and they have to interview you to see like where your state of mind is. If they don't think you're okay, then they 5150 you. If they think you're okay, then they'll let you go home. So I had to stay there for like 4 or 5 hours before I finally had the meeting.
Sure.
But it's so funny because even in that moment, I turned that persona back on. I didn't want to be 5150.
Right.
Like
so that you could
there,
talk.
like,
I'm gonna talk myself out of this room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I drove myself to the hospital, but I kind of crashed in the parking lot because I like lost a lot of blood. The only reason that the psychiatrist or psychologist, I'm struggling with which one it was, let me go home is because of the fact that I drove myself to the hospital. That's the only reason he let me go home. Because it just showed a sign of like I still wanted to live.
Right.
But seeing my friends cry was probably the hardest thing I had to see. Like my friend actually told me like, you're super selfish, bro. Like while crying, because it was like, bro,
We want you here.
you kidding me, bro?
Yeah.
Like, and you know, my friend Rashad stayed with me the whole time I was there. I don't think they let me go till like 12 midnight. Crazy.
Yeah.
And after that, I had to see a therapist, and I didn't want to. And then I got on antidepressants, which I don't endorse them, but they helped me out a lot.
Helps you out.
They helped me out a whole lot. This is in September of 2019.
Okay.
So this is before
Yeah, right before
social
the
media
pandemic,
stuff. So I had to go see a therapist every week. I was on antidepressants for like 3 or 4 years, and I was on antidepressants even after the stuff started popping off.
Right.
You know, with social media, a lot of
Right.
people do this stuff, but I knew myself a lot better.
Okay.
You know what I mean? If I hit that low, I wouldn't make content. I'd be like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not
So
gonna force
you knew to
myself
step
do it.
away.
Yeah, I know that. I know myself way more. I don't think it takes something dramatic to know yourself more, but for me, it definitely got me to the point of like, if I'm not okay, I say I'm not. I don't pretend to be okay at all. If I don't want to make content, I'm not going to do it. I think like a lot of things that aren't important are not important. I used to stress over things that was just like, who cares?
Clarity.
You know what I mean? Now it's just like, that's not as big as you're making it, bro. Like, just who cares? You'll figure it out. And so I think it also grounded me a lot for what's here now. I know it makes me happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I do appreciate where I am. The followers are great, but it is about health. It's about your family being healthy, and it's about your friends there, because you never know how long you're gonna be here.
Yeah.
Or you never know how long this is gonna be here, like the following. You know what I'm saying? I could tweet something tomorrow about mustard is better than ketchup. Maybe people won't like that and I'm canceled.
The
And everybody's
backlash
gone.
is insane.
It's over with. It's over. Your career's done.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
I think that knowing before all this stuff popped off and going through what I went through, I know it makes me happy. And I think that you're kind of just like, you can't really, it's not, numbers don't really make you change because you've already been to the bottom of the bottom. So your true happiness comes from not just being there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It definitely helps with people. We love your content and everything, but you've been through an experience that doesn't allow you to go so high on yourself that you just switching up and it's like, because you've already been to the lows.
sure,
You're
for
truly
sure.
grounded and stuff to where it's like, I like it here, this is great. But if my time was up as far as being a popular person and I just went back to being regular,
Yeah.
I'm regular now, but
Right.
there would be no change in like who I was as a person because I'm like, I'm happy. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
that's
so.
it's incredible. I'm thankful for you sharing that and how you kind of shake your way out of it, and also saying that, because it's true, obviously, that it's a journey.
Yeah.
Crazy that you know after experiencing something like that you jump right back into the land of social media and all this other stuff. So it's a ride, but you know, it seems like you have things in place to get you right.
You got this.
I got it.
There you go.
I
Appreciate
started
that.
doing pull-ups, honestly, because they look really cool in movies.
They do.
Especially when a character is like playing a jailbird.
Transformational.
Absolutely. Especially in the early 2000s, every artist loved to be the artist that was in jail for some odd reason. They were like, I got to be locked up. And then we got to do pull-ups in there. If I'm locked up, I'm not thinking about exercise. I'm not going to lie to you. The last thing on my mind is going to be get fit. It's going to be how do we get out of here? You know what I mean?
Survival, a safe exit. Let's do it.
All right, we're done here.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that you invited me to get in a workout with you. Hopefully, I wasn't too much of a waste of time.
Nah, good little workout.
And you know, though I do feel a bit, I'm gonna take the jump and say embarrassed. I do think you are deserving of a parting gift, being that you're a California kid. Got you the Kendrick Lamar PG Lang Chucks.
Oh, appreciate it. I like these. You can never go wrong with some Chucks. Thank you. Appreciate it. I like these.
Let us never walk together in shoes to the gym again.
Absolutely.
but you do your thing.
Right on.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, dog.
Thank you.
I gotta say it, man. I'm happy you are here in all forms.
Thank you.
And yeah, man, let's keep rocking. Enjoy these drinks.
Yeah.
I gotta cheers you up, bro, because
Absolutely, cheers.
you're killing it now, and
Thank
you'll
you.
continue to kill it.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate that, man. Man,
Awesome.
Shit, thank you, man.
That was great. Thank
That
you.
was good shit.
Yeah,
I
really enjoyed talking to you.
appreciate
Easy to
sharing.
talk to.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Glad you had a good time.
Watched me some Jimmy Kimmels and saw body posture. So the crossing of the hands is safe. If I don't hit it, there will be excuses. So let's not even worry about that. But I gotta see where I'm at. All right, Brad, I will need a spot though. You can
I
spot
got
me.
you. I got you.
You can spot me this time. Oh, I'm gonna hit this.
Okay.
I'm gonna hit this. All right.
I'm gonna jump off. I'll be right here for you, though.
All right. Help me lift it off first. All right. 1, 2, 3.
Okay. All right. This dude is playing humble. I got you.
That's fine. Oh yeah, we're still prime time. We're still prime time, baby.
Okay.
We're not playing around out here, baby. We still got it.
A little bit. I'm gonna get a little small next time, just to you get a smaller size.
You know what I'm saying?
Then
Because
you're gonna be more.
you're gonna really.
Yeah.
Speaking of jacked,
You just.
I'm gonna let you have that
You don't
one.
wanna try?
Nah, I'm good.
time? Okay.
I'm stay humble. I don't want to.
sure?
No
That's
surprises
spicy.
today. No surprises today. We good.
All right.
Appreciate you.